This is Steve with Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and today I'm going to show you how to install the Tusk ATV lock-on heated grips and thumb warmer. When the cold weather hits, you're going to be glad that you have heated grips. Now these things work great when you're out plowing snow, hunting out on the trails, or working on the farm. Now these things are universal, so you can install them on any ATV. And because it's a lock-on type grip, they're very easy to install. So today I'm going to show you how to do that on this 2017 Honda Rubicon. To do this job, you'll need some basic hand tools, a multimeter or test light, safety glasses, and a copy of your OEM service manual for more information, proper procedures, and specs. You'll also need your Tusk ATV lock-on heated grip. Now it comes with everything that you need to do your install. Now we are also installing our Tusk thumb warmer. Now this is a great accessory that works with the heated grip kit, as it just plugs directly into the harness. The first thing we need to do is find a power supply. Now we have two options. One, we can wire it directly up to the battery, but just keep in mind that if you do wire it directly to the battery and you forget to turn your grips off, you could kill the battery. Now what we recommend and what we're going to show you today is finding the Keyon power supply. And we will tie in there so that when we turn the key off, the grips turn off as well and we won't kill our battery. Now most ATVs have an accessory plug or an accessory plug in your wiring harness. Now it's always best and safe to look at the OEM service manual at the wiring diagram just so that you can make sure that you're tying in the right spot. Now this machine in particular has an accessory plug which is designed for accessories such as heated grips. Now this machine, this is the actual plug that goes to that. So to make sure that this is a keyed on power source, so we will unplug this plug and verify that it's keyed on power. We're going to do that using our test light. Now that I've got that unplugged, I've looked at the OEM wiring diagram and it's telling me that the white and black wire is our power wire and the green wire is our ground wire. Now if you don't have a wiring diagram, you can follow your key switch back or your accessory plug back to the connector and test it the same way that I'm going to show you. We'll do it with the test light first so that we can verify if that wire is actually our keyed power source. Now I've got my test light here. Now we just want to find a good known ground and go ahead and ground the one end of the test light. Now let's start with the ground wire, the supposed ground wire, and we'll go ahead and put our lead into that and turn the key on. Now you can hear the fuel pump turn on, so we know it's on, but obviously our light hasn't lit up. Now let's test the white and black wire and try that again. Now that we've found our Keyon power, let's go ahead and disconnect the battery so that we don't damage any components during our install. Now the next step is we need to remove the old grips off of the machine and clean the handlebars. Now in your grips, you could just cut them off. You can also use compressed air and get underneath it, and a lot of times that will free it up and it'll come right off. So we're going to try that first. Next, we need to take our wiring harness and we need to lay it out where we think it needs to go. Then that's going to give us a better idea of what body panels we're going to need to remove so that we can wire it correctly. Now on this machine, it's pretty close and straightforward. The only thing that we're going to need to remove is the headlight. Next, let's take our main part of the harness and we'll go ahead and route that up underneath this plastic, and then we can attach our ground and power wire. Now for your ground wire, you need to find a good ground to the chassis. So we are using this bolt that holds the rack to the chassis, and we've gone ahead and mounted our ground wire there. Now we need to connect our red wire to our keyed on power. Using the supplied connector, we'll place both wires in their parallel and then we'll crimp it together using some pliers. Now let's take our grip and our lock rings and place the lock rings over the end of the grip. Now the wires that are coming out of it, you need to make sure to rotate the grip once you install it so that the wires won't interfere with anything else. Now if your grips are hard to install, there's a couple things that could be causing that. One, there's a lot of handlebars that have gnarling or excess paint on them, and what you can do there is take some sandpaper or Scotch-Brite pad and remove some of that so that it slides on. Now you still want your grip to be tight, so don't take too much off. The other thing that you can do is take a rubber mallet and slightly tap on the end of the grip using a twisting motion to install it as well. Just be careful when you do that. Now once you have the grip all the way on, make sure to rotate it so that your wires are not in the way of the throttle or your brake, and then we will go ahead and use our Allen to tighten down the locking mechanism. Next, we need to install our temperature control switch. Now there's two ways we can mount this to the machine. One is we can take the supplied sticky pad, stick it to the switch, and then stick it to your machine. The other one is our bar mount system, which we can remove these 4 screws, install this on this either way, and put the screws back in. Then we can mount it to the handlebar. On this machine, we are going to use the handlebar mount. Now, if you do decide to go with the bar mount, it comes with a supplied piece of rubber. Now, you'll use this to wrap it around the bar so that the switch can clamp down around that. Now that we have our switch installed, it's time for us to install our Tusk thumb warmer. Now, if you're not installing a thumb warmer on yours, go ahead and skip forward past the thumb warmer install for the rest of your heated grip install. Now, the first step to installing the thumb warmer, we need to take some contact cleaner and a rag and clean off the thumb throttle. After we've done that, we can take our heating element and we can peel off the sticky back and place it on the thumb throttle. Now, the thumb throttle can vary in size, so once you get your heating element stuck on there, a quick tip is if you have excess of the element sticking out, you can use a little electrical tape to mold those corners down. The next step is to place your heat shrink over it and use a heat gun to shrink that down around the heating element. Now that we have our grip heaters and our thumb warmer installed, we need to route our wires. Now, anytime you route any wires, you need to leave enough slack so that you can rotate your handlebars fully left and fully right and actuate your throttle fully in and fully out, and so that it's not going to pull on any of the wires and cause problems. The other key point there is try and route all of your wires in the same fashion that the original manufacturer routed theirs. It's a cleaner look and it'll help with the install. Now that we have all of our wires ran and we've tested the steering back and forth and the throttle, let's secure our wires using the supplied zip ties. Now it's time to connect all of our connectors. Now, a quick tip that I have is using dielectric grease in all of our connectors. That'll help keep the water out and eliminate some potential problems that you might have down the road. First, let's take the main harness and we'll connect it to the switch harness. Now, if you are installing just the grips, you would take your grip connectors and plug them into the 2 pigtails on the switch harness. Now, if you are installing a thumb warmer, you would simply connect one of your pigtails to one grip, but the other grip pigtail, you would plug in your thumb warmer, and then you would plug in your grip warmer connector into the thumb warmer as well. Now that we have all of our connectors hooked up, let's go ahead and reconnect our battery and we will test our heated grips and thumb warmer. Now that we know everything is working correctly, we need to secure up the rest of our wiring harness and install any body panels or parts that we've removed to do our install. And that's it. That's all there is to installing your Tusk lock-on heated grips and thumb warmer. Come check us out at RockyMountainATVMC.com for more parts, apparel, and accessories. And remember, all orders over $75 ship for free. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is Steve. We'll catch you next time.